the differences of work culture in India and abroad. As Chef has also worked in India and Australia and other places also, so he understands better. So he can tell us that how different is the work culture, and we'll be also knowing whether this hotel management is going to the BSc course what IHM is offering is sufficient to become a good chef, or we have to do some extra course or higher studies, and if we do, from where we'll do, and if we prefer to join in some college in Australia, what all are the better colleges, and we'll be also discussing if somebody is really interested to join uh, and work in Australia, what all things we require to do. So over to you, chef, and once again, warm welcome.
Thank you.
And we are very proud to have you, being a person from Odisha, especially being a Odia boy, achieving these heights and making every one of us proud. And uh, let's start our session. Over to you, chef.
Thank you so much, Sudhir, and a very good afternoon to everybody from Australia, and good morning in India to everyone. And it's absolutely a pleasure to be a part of this session, with the fellow teachers and everyone who contributed to achieve what I've achieved in my career, and thank you for everything. Okay, so we have prepared a small presentation, in the sense of questionnaire that will keep me going within this presentation. So we'll be talking about the presentation of food and aspect of molecular gastronomy and so on and so forth. So I'll try to open up the presentation. I hope you can see the presentation at this moment.
Yes, chef, it is visible.
Oh, excellent. So, yeah, we'll be going through about the presentation of food. As we know, and like we say, you eat from your eyes first. So it's extremely important to let the food look fantastic. So Sudhir has also shared my social media page, so you can see certain aspect of my food presentation as well. And like when you're presenting food, it's extremely first you plan a dish, and the second thing comes into your mind: how do you present them? And so for presentation of food, what you keep in mind: the color, the texture, and the combination, the flow as well within the dish, and like how it's supposed to look, and how you're supposed to eat it. One of the dish I've just featured, which is recently we added into our menu. It's a salmon dish. First you have to like we chefs say, you have to cook it in your mind first, how it's going to taste, how the flavor pairing and the combination is going to be. Then you cook it and you try the pairing and how it works. Then you start planning out how it's going to look within the plate. What I do is I draw a picture. So what kind of plates I'm going to use, and then take it from from there. And like if you're taking a round plate, you just place place the what you call it items, where the salmon is going to be, and where the leeks are going to be, or where the purees are going to be, and then you start the flow as well. Sudhir, I hope you can see the presentation now.
Yes, sir. Yes, chef, it's visible.
Okay. I'm not able to scroll the presentation. I'm not sure why. If it's okay for you to share, that's going to be great, because I'm not able to scroll the presentation.
Right, right, chef. I'll share for you.
Then I
So you
can
can stop sharing.
yeah, then I can run through as well to the second page, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So I have a printout of the presentation
Is
with
it?
me. So
Yes. Yeah. Yes, chef. Is it visible now? Visible to you?
I I cannot see it now.
Just a second.
I can't see the presentation at this moment. While you are trying, Sudhir, the presentation to go through, so I can continue talking, because I understand
Right, right,
time is quite limited
right.
for everybody. The presentation of any dish, guys, I'll start again. The color, the texture, the combination, the placement, the flow. Well, that's very important. I hope I'm not complicating. And to be honest, that's what you keep in mind. Every plate, every dish has a story to tell. About the ingredient, about the dish, and what you want to present. Uh, you know, yes, I can see the presentation now, which is fantastic. Thank you. And yes, once you decide like what dish you are presenting, then you just start placing them in the plate, and see how it looks and how the flow is. It's not necessary the food has to be hot and everything. It's just working out the placement of everything. And then if you're satisfied that it looks great and it flows, that how you're supposed to eat that dish. First you start from component number one, then you go to the component number two or component number three, and that's how it's placed. And these are the guidelines, I would say, in terms of presenting food. End of the day, there is nothing right or wrong in terms of plating food. Some of them goes a bit of a rustic presentation. Some of the chefs, they go in terms of a fine line presentation. Like me as a chef, I try to go on a fine lines, either straight lines or vertical lines or something, not scattered things around too much. So that's my style of presenting food. And definitely nowadays, it's extremely important to have a pair of tweezers with you, because when you're doing a delicate presentation or placing your edible flowers and everything, and um, it's important that you're not crushing them, and you're presenting them as you want them to. And and the skills and techniques in terms of plating food is about imagination. You got to imagine, you got to be happy that what you're presenting is fine. The more you see different presentation, the more ideas you are going to get. Various chefs have, like I said, different style of presenting food. And like you keep on seeing, keep on taking inspirations as well from everybody, and you start applying those, and that's how you update your skills as well. So always imagine, put it in the plate, or draw it in a piece of paper, your dish, and then start presenting them, and create that wow moment, or it need to be wow. And that's what we look for in terms of presenting food. And we'll just move on to the next page, if possible. And yeah, with that, when we spoke about presenting food and texture, the texture can be a puree. A texture can be a coarse one. A texture can be a powder or a sauce or a liquid or a smoke or a foam. Yeah, that these are the aspect which is also important in plating food. And molecular gastronomy, I know the young chefs are absolutely keen on molecular gastronomy, creating those spears and espumas and changing the texture and presenting of food. And like when I was developing my career as well, we used to be absolutely motivated or take the inspiration when you used to see the food from Ferran Adria or Heston Blumenthal and all these chefs who got the evolution into molecular gastronomy. And so we started learning those techniques or how to use them. Mostly in the using the molecular techniques, you create certain texture or flavored texture of food, and the texture can be a foam, or you call that a espuma. The texture can be a crumb, like you can do a ice cream crumb using dry ice or liquid nitrogen, like a kind of a granita, and you can make a powder. That's a powder is one of my favorite. When you turn a fat or oil into powder using something called maltodextrin. When you incorporate maltodextrin into any oil, and that turns into a powder, a flavored powder. And as soon as you put it in your palate, and that turns back to oil again, that flavored oil. That's something which you create that. Oh, wow, moment. Again, it's a mixture of art and science. Yes, it is a science because you're using some natural chemical or natural extract to create this kind of textures. Again, of course, it's the art, because you need that art or imagination to create those combination or pairing as well. Like if you don't have the imagination, that the mango, which is the puree, you want to turn that to a mango spear or kind of a yolk, which is very popular. Like lots and lots of people started making them, which looks like a yolk. So that's something which comes through art or imagination as a chef. And also you make through the molecular gastronomic techniques caviar, which looks like a caviar or a smaller eggs. Any what you call it, flavor puree. You can turn that to a caviar shape, and you can use them part of your dish, to complement your dish. There are a lot of restaurants around the world, the Michelin star restaurants and celebrity chefs. The complete menu is based on molecular gastronomy, the foams, the espumas, the crumbs, the spears, and so on and so forth. And Heston Blumenthal's restaurant, they talk about using the senses, the smell, the sound of the sea, and something looks something and tastes something else, like the meat fruit, which looks like a fruit, but it's a meat. And then these are the things which create that wow moment using this technique. Is it popular? Of course, it's extremely popular, because that's something create the moments in your cooking, or create the wow moment when you present to the guests. They said, "Wow, well, how does this work?" And they start asking you the question. How do you make this crumb, or how the oil is turned into a powder? And that's what we do. A bit of magic in terms of cooking and creating that moments when you go to a restaurant or go to a venue. You want to experience the moments, the cuisine and the food, and these are the things which create that experience, and you come back having that thing in your mind for a long time, and you tend to go back, or you tend to talk to your friends and people near and dear that the experience you had. And for the young chefs, there's many ingredients which are used for the making spears and the caviars and all those things, like alginate and calcium chloride and calcium lactate, then carrageenan. Then you use dry ice, and you use liquid nitrogen, like I said, maltodextrin and isomalt. Isomalt is quite popular at this moment, to turn that to make a shard or kind of a uh, sugar sheet as a garnish, which you can give color as well, and have some flavor. And alginate you use to create spears, which is a liquid ball, like a balloon, which is filled with liquid. When you pop open the liquid, ooze out. Any kind of flavor purees or sauces, like in my menu we used to use this, make the sauce as a spear, and place it on the top of protein. Can be a chicken or a fish or a beef or anything, not pouring the sauce, which makes the plate look a bit messy. You just put the spear, or like a yolk on the top of the protein. When you cut open the sauce, ooze out, and completely nappe your meat. And that's one of the experience. Or if you're making a dessert as well, you can make a fruit puree based spear, and it becomes like a sauce, like a balloon. You cut open, and then that goes through that dessert to complement the dessert overall. And like what do you call it? Using maltodextrin, you can make a truffle oil powder, or any flavored oil. You can turn that to a powder. You can use also maltodextrin to make a chocolate soil, or the crumb as well. Nowadays, it's quite popular to roast chocolate, roasted white chocolate soil, or the powder. You roast your white chocolate, and you turn that to a powder, which gives a texture component to your dish when you present them, and it looks great as well. It looks like a snow too. And making caviar it's a smaller spear. I would say you use the same alginate and calcium chloride to make your spears and caviars as well. You must have seen in the YouTube video and everything, chefs using syringes to put drops and drops and drops, and creating those caviar. And nowadays you can get a caviator as well, which is quite fast in terms of making a lot of caviar at the same time. Not you're putting one drop each, and making those caviars, and espuma, or the foam, which is quite popular as well. You use a siphon or a cream gun, which you must have seen many cafes and Starbucks they use for whipping cream. They put the cream and use a nitro charger in there to create that whipped cream. So use the same siphon to create espuma. So which in our menu we make a pina colada espuma. We serve it as a cocktail canapé as well. We make pina colada and add a touch of carrageenan in there, and very little bit of xanthium gum. Xanthium gum is a gum used as a cold thickener, because in cooking school you learn the cooking techniques, and um, where you use roux to thicken your sauce, but it has to be a warm sauce. But thickening a cold sauce or a dressing nowadays is quite easy. You use a touch of xanthium gum, which many years ago was getting used in the commercial food industry, and now it has got into our what you call it, kitchen as well. And like after I go through all these points, I'll share some pictures as well, and explain how those aspects of molecular techniques are used in presenting food or creating the dishes as well. So yeah, using the siphon, you can create a espuma. Just use your nitro charger, and what you call it, then just dispense as a espuma. And
Chef, I'm audible.
yes, you are Sudhir. I can hear you.
Sorry to interrupt you, Chef. If you want to share some pictures while discussing on these, so by the time you share, I have one question to you, Chef.
Yes, please.
Uh, as in India, molecular gastronomy is slowly getting pace and getting popular, but still there is a lack of professional who can actually teach. And if we see our syllabus, we don't have molecular gastronomy as it's the trending nowadays. So if you want uh, beautiful picture, chef,
Thank you.
our student to practice few of these molecular gastronomy, some dishes which are made with molecular gastronomy with minimum budget. So can we have a small notes kind of you from your side after the session, which we can
Absolutely.
share with our student?
Absolutely. Actually, I am holding my notes, which I'll definitely be happy to share as well, and with some recipes too. During my assignment, definitely in India, we could get those ingredients. Like Sosa is the brand which has all the ingredients which is used in the molecular gastronomy. It's SOSA. So you can get them. It comes in it like a 250, 300 grams packet, and you can use them, which I'll be sharing the recipes. The picture what I've shared, the small white glass, that's the pina colada espuma which we have made, and this is the smaller canapes, cocktail canapes what we have made. In this, you can see the white glass. It's a pina colada. We have created pina colada. We have just put it in the siphon and dispensed them as a what do you call it, foam. It's not something you're drinking. I hope you guys can see the picture.
Yes, chef, it's visible.
Yes. So you can just, instead of drinking pina colada, you can take a teaspoon and you can just eat it. And at the top of the pina colada espuma, you can see dehydrated pineapple chip. So the pineapple, we have just placed them in dehydrated to make a nice crispies. And the black color caviar, you can see in watermelon, and that is a compressed watermelon. So what we have done to watermelon, we have just added some tarragon and some champagne in there, and vacuum pack them. So when you vacuum pack the melon with any liquid, what happens? It sucks into to all the liquid, the champagne in there, and we have made a fruit caviar which is on the top as a garnish. And
Chef, after seeing this, I really want to taste. A couple of times I have already tasted because I have attended molecular mixology because I am from F&B background. So
yes,
I just want to ask another question. When we use molecular gastronomy to make food,
yes.
is there a difference in the taste? Though it's very nice looking, the taste, are we compromising with the taste?
Not at all. Not at all. That's a fine balance. What you use in terms of balancing the flavor. I don't find a flavor has been compromised. I'm sharing another picture. This is a melon caviar. Different melon with juice, which is turned into a caviar, and underneath you can see a serrano ham, and which is sitting on a melon croûte. Melon and serrano ham, which is a royal combination. Again, the different melon juice where we have given them a touch of spice and different flavor and turned them into the caviar. And which looks good, which also tastes better. Imagine having a melon and serrano ham, and when you eat it, and the caviar bursts with flavors. So that's what it is. And I'll, like when we spoke about the presentation of food, it's all about visual presentation and using the senses. And I'll share some more picture as well. And this dish is a black cod. So we have used uh, fennel oil powder in this. The white powder what you see in this
Yes,
particular
yes.
dish is a fennel oil which is turned into a powder. And then you have a what
We have some greens also. Some microgreens are also.
yes, there's some micro greens as a garnish and like baby vegetable, and the white dot you see, it's a buttermilk gel, which is which is a sauce and the component with this particular dish. This was one of the dish I had in uh, one of my assignment in Singapore. And
So after seeing this, we are already getting a lot of question. So I just want to inform all the viewers that we'll be taking up every question one by one once we start with our question answer session. So
absolutely.
we'll just continue with that. And chef is
Absolutely.
here with us. We'll take all the questions. So once we'll start our question answer session. Chef, please continue. Chef.
Sure. This is another dish. You can see there's quite a few gels which has been used. There's some crispies which has been used as well. Which has used the techniques of molecular gastronomy in there, and nowadays the burrata also you can serve making a uh, like olive oil caviar, and all these pictures I have it in my social media. If the viewers are keen, they can definitely have a look at it in there. So in the Instagram page, and so my Instagram handle is Chef Deepak Mishra. And yeah, then this is the answer. We're running out of time. I'll move on to the next topic, if that's okay, Sudhir.
Right, chef. So I'll present the PPT.
Yes, please.
Now I can see a black plate with a beautiful.
Yes, this is another dish. This is poached lobster with what you call it, beetroot gel. Then you have it. What do you call it? Again, a fennel oil powder with that, and then a beetroot yolk in there as well. So So again, this is one of the dish. Like nowadays, it's quite common and popular method to use the molecular techniques while presenting food. Now the interesting topic I would say many will be keen to know the celebrity preference. Like definitely
Right, chef.
we are part of a glamour industry, and like
Chef, we have got a huge fan following of Virat Kohli, and the picture itself speaks everything. And I know a lot of viewers will be very much interested at what exactly Virat Kohli ordered. And if you can see the page, Chef, is it visible? The slides
yes,
are visible.
yes, I can see the slides. Like a couple of years ago, when the Indian team came to Melbourne, they stayed with us on and off a month and a half. So Virat and Anushka and the entire team was with us. Being an Indian cricketer is a part of our religion, we say. Yes,
Absolutely.
it was absolutely pleasure to serve the Indian team. The food preference wise, it differs. The celebrity can be a sports star. The celebrity can be to the entertainment industry, and Virat and Anushka, they're part of both the industry. Sports and entertainment industry. Um, they like when we're dealing with or serving with a celebrity, they before they arrive nowadays, you receive their dietary instruction, what they eat, what are their preference, they're vegetarian, they're celiac, or they uh, into high protein diet, and you plan the menu as per that. The time when uh, Virat Kohli and Anushka, they were staying with us with the entire team. They were vegetarian. I believe they're still vegetarian. And they were also following a vegan diet. Vegan is no animal product at all, like not even milk. Uh,
So
uh,
I saw you making one cake or something celebrating Virat's birthday. So
Yes,
how
yes. And
if you
Virat was very kind enough to share in his Instagram holding the dessert plate what I sent to his room. It was for the New Year's Eve. The amenities which I sent to his room. And the next day when he was in the restaurant, I asked him, I know, Mr. Kohli, you're in a strict diet. Did you manage to try a bit of the dessert? We put a lot of love and passion towards and what you call creating this plate together. He said he did try the dishes, which is absolutely a pleasure, and I was really happy. And yes,
Chef, they did these Indian celebrities when they go there and they ask for Indian food in a Western style or in a have you done
yes,
sending them Indian food they want to
They,
have or
they,
something?
they definitely prefer Indian food. Like Virat and Anushka, they are vegan. In terms of serving Indian food and vegan, which is fantastic. They love South Indian food for breakfast. And I used to work at the Langam, which we had a separate Indian kitchen, and we could prepare the Indian item without any animal product or cream or milk or anything. And yes, we coming to your question. Definitely, the food was prepared in a Western touch in there. So the preparing the grilled item, serving the sauce and everything in the same plate, like all the component in the same plate, which is easier to serve as well. And they also ask many occasions to be served in a similar fashion. The celebrities, they travel around the world. They try the Michelin star Indian restaurant as well, where you served get served like Western style Indian food. Not in a very traditional manner. Definitely, they ask for it, and we are prepared as well the similar fashion food. And
Right, chef,
celebrity.
chef. Other than Virat Kohli and all Indian cricketers, any other celebrity you have met
Yeah,
and served?
we've managed to serve many other celebrity Hollywood stars as well. In my career, I've served Nicole Kidman, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and
And Tom Cruise too.
not Tom Cruise during my time for sure. Then many singers as well. We had Sylvester Stallone as well. Then we had Madonna as well as a guest. During my assignment in India as well, we had a lot of Hollywood star coming and staying with us at the Oberoi Villas hotels, you know. But when they in my career, people say they are quite difficult to handle. But fortunately, I did not feel that they're quite cooperative. And to be honest, when Anushka and Virat and the entire cricket team was staying were with us, I could call them and ask them what they feel like eating, and they could share, and they're quite easy, and they could say
I would
like,
say, chef, that's the beauty of our industry. We get opportunity to meet people like this. Being a very common man, getting these opportunity is really good. I would like also to share with my students that the life of a hotelier is really amazing, and along with the career. So you can see a live example in front of you. So, chef, we can move to the next slide. I mean, that's the
yes,
most important slide, I would say. That's about the course. What we are doing is hotel management. Uh, is that sufficient? Do you feel that if somebody doing IHM, BSc in IHM, BSc from IHM and going abroad and working, is that degree sufficient, or he need to pursue some more higher degrees?
I recommend so that the people who would like to pursue as a chef to go for higher studies is to broaden the exposure. Especially in European cooking. That is my recommendation. Is to be honest, when I moved from India to study further to Australia, so like I was always passionate with European cooking, especially French, you know and I got those. I definitely had the theoretical knowledge in India from the teacher, but unfortunately a lot of the things what we could study from Larouche or Escoffier or Herrings and all these books, we couldn't see, or those days it was not available. Nowadays in India everything is available, or they import from various part of the world. But again, the exposure part would be better when you study further. Nowadays, many institutes they specialize in culinary. In Australia, a French cooking school like Le Cordon Bleu, which is very famous. They specialize in European French cooking, and the course is very structured. I visit them every now and then as an industry person, and when I see the way the course is structured is completely into making an industry professional ready to become a chef. When you're doing hotel management, it is great. You study each and every aspect of a hotel, and to become a general manager one day, which is helpful. To be honest, I aspire to be a general manager one day in my career. In the present portfolio, I'm a chef. Also, I'm holding the portfolio as a director of food and beverage as well. So, which is definitely helpful having a hotel management background, so where I have the understanding of the entire hotel's operations. Again, like coming back to your question, it's definitely advisable to have a further studies degree into culinary or master's into culinary or a certificate course into culinary. Definitely that helps. And nowadays, even culinary course specialize in certain aspect. You can do a course into patisserie. You can do a course into chocolate work. You can do a course into just cookery. And you can also do a course into kitchen management, which takes all the aspect of kitchen management, from costing to budgeting, to planning to designing, and all those things as well. So, like, it's great nowadays. You have BSc in hotel management, which my wife could do when she studied at the IHM Bangalore. During my time, we could get a diploma in hotel management. The degree was introduced later on. Having a degree is fantastic, and which you can utilize to study further. To do a master's
Chef,
in it.
Chef, what I know, ma'am is a OCLD background. Ma'am has got a OCLD background.
Yes, Mehak is from OCLD 2005 batch. She's completed hotel management from Bangalore. Then she was selected to join the Oberoi School. Then she passed out in 2005. Then she worked at the Oberoi Rajvilas, Uday Vilas, and Oberoi Towers. And she was the assistant housekeeper in Rajvilas. And she was a housekeeper in Australia as well. So yeah, I hear very great things about OCLD, and having been worked in Oberoi Rajvilas, I could closely work with OCLD course structure and the selection process and all those things, and which is great.
Chef, if a student, if they are interested to go for higher studies, and especially if somebody wants to go to Australia for higher studies, so which all college will be you will be suggesting them to opt for?
See, the colleges I would suggest Le Cordon Bleu, William Anglis, um, then you have Box Hill, then there's few other colleges coming in terms of chocolate work. There is Savor Chocolate in Sydney. They do well, and Holmes TAFE, they offer quite a lot of courses as well in various part of kitchen. So these are the major colleges we have, and they're quite huge, And nowadays they have branch in many country as well. And yeah, Cordon Bleu is quite old.
Chef, as I also know that you have been very frequent to some colleges as a guest speaker or guest faculty.
Yes.
So, what do you think if a student, if they join this institution, and if they wants to work also, and to manage his expenditure, is that possible? Is that there is a scope?
Absolutely. Like when I came here as a student on a student visa, we were allowed to work 20 hours a week, as it was not a master's course, So we were working 20 hours a week, and during the holidays you can work full time. So definitely that supports your education. If you are doing a master's degree, your spouse can, if you're married, your spouse can work full time, and that also help. And it's quite flexible. And definitely, you can support your studies. Why not?
Right, Chef. Thank you so much for this all information. So we'll move to another slide. That's also another very interesting slide. Job
Sure.
opportunity outside India. So in that, I would like to ask you a question like, if you have seen the work culture in India, you have seen the work culture in abroad, and how different it is, and if you can share some pros and cons.
See, the working culture, India and abroad, is definitely different. I would say, in terms of manpower, in terms of structure, which is quite different. In working in overseas, in kitchen, you will not find as many chefs that you find in India, because the wages, the labor cost is quite high, and its labor cost is one of the significant component of any business in overseas. So productivity is what we speak all the time, with utilizing the lesser manpower and maximizing the productivity. That is one of the difference you're going to find in terms of working in India and working in overseas. Um, and rest, I would say more or less the same. because my last assignment in India was not, I would say, nearly 10 years ago, and I speak to many of my ex-colleagues or friends in India about their work in the kitchen. It's quite modern at this moment. You name the equipment, it's available in India. Yeah, like the major two different difference you will find is number of people. That is number one, and availability of resources. In India, you depend more on imports, though in overseas they are readily available. Uh, like you can just order today and you can have it the next day.
Chef, chef, sorry to interrupt. As they say, if you can survive in Indian hotel, you can survive anywhere in the world. Is that
Very
true?
well said. Very well said, and it's absolutely bang on. True. If you can survive in Indian hotels, definitely you can survive anywhere in the world. The challenges are quite a bit, and every day you find very unforeseen circumstances which you have to deal as a chef, and you have to keep on producing and serving. So that's what it is, and the large numbers what we cater in India as well, that makes you very strong as an industry professional.
Okay. So if chef somebody wants to apply for a job in Australia, so what are the different ways? He can go for a higher study and he can work, number one. And what
Yes.
else?
So
If
if
somebody is working in a hotel for 2 years or 3 years, so if he want to shift to Australia, so what are the ways how he will apply for visa? Or
the first option is coming as a student studying, because certain professions are in demand to migrate to Australia, and chef is one of them. And after studying, you can apply for a permanent residence visa, and that's one way. And the second way, employer sponsorship. If you get a sponsor from a restaurant or a hotel who want to sponsor you to come to Australia and work, that is another way of what you call it, coming to Australia. Or if you have industry experience, you have been in the industry for a few years and you have done your hotel management, which is definitely valid. The degree is valid in Australia, and you can definitely come to apply for a migration from India itself. And the processing time normally takes about what you call it, a year or year and a half, and you can come to Australia and work. Like you can work anyway as well. And many of the states in Australia, they are also offering sponsorship to come and work in that particular state. The condition is to work in that particular state for a couple of years or so. Then you can move anywhere in Australia and work. So these
right,
are the
chef?
options as per my knowledge. To be honest, my knowledge might be in terms of immigration a bit obsolete, but this is the way I've seen many of the chefs or the hotel industry people are moving into Australia.
Chef, if we'll continue, I think we can continue for hours. And I know we have actually touched all the aspect according to our agenda. So now I would like to move to the question answer session.
Sure.
So we have received a lot of questions from our viewers. So the question will be discussed and asked one by Mr. Abinash Das sir. And yeah, let's see. Over to you, Abinash sir.
Hi, Avinash.
Uh, Hi, sir. So, thanks, Sudhir. So, I think many of things is already discussed by Chef, but we take only 5 or 4 questions from the chat box. So, first question from the Chef Sambhi Suman, who is our food production faculty. how molecular gastronomy benefited to fight for the obesity.
Can you repeat the question, please?
This question from our one faculty member, Chef Sambit Suman, how molecular gastronomy benefited to fight with obesity. Sorry.
Obesity. In terms of fighting obesity, I wouldn't know. If you stick to the fine dining food portion, which is not huge, if you stick to those portions size, definitely you'll be losing quite a lot of weight for sure. And
just to add on, obesity is not for chefs.
Sometimes my wife says, looking at my food, where is the food? Because it's all smaller components and everything. Where is the food? So you stick to the portion. Definitely, it's you'll be fighting with obesity and you'll be losing weight as well. What? And you can enjoy the whole 17 course or from the French classical menu,
Yes. So second question from another chef faculty also.
Okay.
This is from chef Deepak Kishore. How this molecular gastronomy beneficial in terms of nutrient provided by foods?
In terms of nutrients, see, any dishes you plan that has got a texture you want to achieve, whether it's a gel or a puree, in terms of using the molecular gastronomy. In terms of nutrients, it's great, and it's going to be it will be like appealing. There's no health compromise as such. It's all natural, and when the food looks good, even if it's whatever it is, you'll feel like eating them for sure. So definitely, in terms of nutrients, it's a great tool. Imagine when you're turning a liquid to a gel or a foam. It's much more appetizing and much more interesting to eat.
Yes. Certainly. So another question from south part of India. Hello.
Yes, Abinash, I can hear you.
Another question from south part of India.
Yes.
From Sankaranji. Is our Tamil traditional cuisine have demand how to make aware of it? Is egg veg or non-veg? Long time debate. What is your perception?
Veg or non-veg? I'm married to a Jain. To answer your question, I'm married to a Jain. My wife is a Jain and is a very strict vegetarian. And me being a chef, I love my meat. My 5 years old son, he calls himself I'm a carnivorous. He loves his chicken and meat. So it's a debate. Your preference. What you prefer. To be honest, the Indian cuisine is huge, vast, and it has got a lot of respect worldwide in terms of the cuisine style, the heritage, it's versatile, So there is no hard and fast rule or which is popular. Whatever you enjoy eating, that's popular. Now more and more people are becoming vegetarian and vegan. For a vegetarian or a vegan, Indian cuisine is absolutely like a sea. Having millions of choices, And to be honest, I feel proud and blessed to be an Indian, knowing the Indian cuisine, which I use an aspect of Indian cuisine in my food as well.
This is a long debate.
Being a Udia, can you tell me one of the favorite dishes? I mean, vegetarian dishes.
Dalma.
What you miss?
Of course, dalma. Of course, dalma. And to be honest, I'll be very.
No debate.
I'll
I
be
think
very
no
honest
debate
with
on
you. Like we crave. My wife's favorite restaurant is Mayfair Lagoon's restaurant. So yeah. So dalma, chhena pora, and bhoja, body chura. These I'm craving for those.
Wow. So, sir, question come around from whole the different side part of country. So, one question from the North India,
Yes.
from Tushar Goel. Ayurveda can be a part of molecular gastronomy because people
Of
are getting calories conscious.
Of course, Ayurveda can be a part of the molecular gastronomy for sure. Because Ayurvedic cuisine, or nowadays we call it a spa cuisine, is getting very popular. The results what you have in Himalayas and the yoga or Ayurvedic massage in the 5-star hotel spa is a big thing, and all the spas are serving spa cuisine or spa menu, which has got a component of Ayurvedic items as well, and herbals, Ayurvedic items part of preparing those dishes. Definitely. It's a great thing. To be honest, you made me thinking now. Thank you for asking this question and giving some idea to this chef.
Thanks to Mr. Tushar Goel for this
Thank you,
nice
Mr.
question.
Goel.
So another two question I will combine it from the Sustika Chakravarti and Pramit Ghosh. These two students, they have a small query. What is the difference between working in Indian hotel and abroad hotel? And then how young generation can introduce molecular gastronomy in our Indian context?
See, molecular working in India and overseas, I've already mentioned. There's majorly there is two different difference you can find in terms of manpower. In Indian hotels, the manpower you can find quite a lot in terms of in the kitchen brigade. And working in overseas, the manpower is limited because labor cost is quite high. The wages are quite high. It's one of the major component which you need to manage to achieve your profitability. The second thing in availability of resources in terms of ingredients and everything. In India, we depend some, not majorly, but some part from the imports, especially the European item. Working in overseas, you can just place an order within hours. It will be in your kitchen. As a young chef, how you introduce molecular gastronomy, you can do anything. Keep trying, keep trying all the aspect of making the spears and all those things, and for different flavors, and use them in your cooking. But one suggestion I must give: stick to the basics first. First, make your basics, your foundation very strong. When you're in the hotel management school, study hard, get your foundation strong. Like the old time they say, if you have a strong foundation, you can make a very tall building. So that is a step for everything. You can't. You should not start doing molecular gastronomy before you learn how to make a roux or a bechamel or a velouté or espagnol. So sorry, I hope I'm not sounding harsh, but take a step at a time, and you will get there when you will master into molecular gastronomy as well.
Chef, to join you in this discussion, I just want to ask, when you see a new employee joining you in kitchen, so what you see is lacking in them. Now, the people who are joining straight away from hotel management, what they are exactly lacking? As you are discussing basics, it will be very strong.
What they are lacking in terms of they don't have patience. That's one thing I would say. I would give this this thing to the social media and the television shows and the master chefs and everything. Everybody want to become a master chef straight away, you know. And like the question came in about the molecular gastronomy, when the young chef join the kitchen, straight they want to create that Michelin star dish, rather going through the steps to learn doing the mise en place, to become a ladder chef, to chef de saucier or the rôtissier, or you know, climbing that step. So giving that particular time, and that's one major thing I feel some of this, not all, some of the young chefs lack. But in terms of exposure, they are pretty good. When I see my young days when I started cooking, and when the young chefs are coming now, in terms of exposure, the credit goes to the social media, the internet, and everything. They're pretty much better off. That's why the millennials, we call them the Generation X. You know.
Well, Seth, there are lots of questions in row. I don't know how many questions I can take. So there is one question from Poojan Upadhyay, again from the eastern part of country.
Okay.
Chef, how do you pair wine and molecularly enhanced food?
How you pair wine and molecularly?
Yeah, wine with molecularly enhanced food.
Okay.
So same question. There are also same question. Molecular gastronomy that help moderate art of plating. Same type of question from Poojan Upadhyay and Rahul Gupta.
When you're pairing wine and food, you're pairing together whatever goes well with that particular wine. Once you decide that, and that particular food, you can use the molecular gastronomy to create different texture. Let me share one of the picture to explain.
So last question, I think.
This is one of the dish, you know, braised wagyu rib, and this was paid one of the red wine, local red wine, and the green dot, what you can see, it's a gel.
Chef, we can try once again.
Sure.
It's not coming.
Okay, this can you see this picture?
Not right.
No, chef.
I think it's giving. I think it's going to come. I've just shared a picture. I think it's loading at this moment because I can't see myself. So yes, coming back to the question, molecular gastronomy and wine, using molecular gastronomy in wine pairing food. Definitely, you can do that. Like I've just shared, it's a trend which is getting more and more popular. So any what you call it, the dishes that you create, and you just use the aspect of molecular gastronomy to create the foam, or create a spear, or anything, you know, and it sense the difference, and it looks much more presentable and elite as well. And any other question? I hope I have answered your question.
Yes. So another peculiar question from another chef who also working in abroad. Chef Ajay Sahu, can we pair Odia food with wine?
Ajay Shah from Leela's. Hi, Ajay.
Think so. And another your friends are these Mr. Sanjay Mishra.
Okay. Well, hi, Sanjay. Yeah, Ajay is a
They
great
were very happy to see.
Oriya chef. His cuisine is very good. He's doing really justice to Oriya food, taking it globally. You definitely can use molecular gastronomy into the food you're creating, Ajay. And definitely, you can get in touch with me separate. We can discuss for sure. It'll be absolutely a pleasure to help you out in that regard.
Right, chef. What I can see, we have to hold another webinar like this to wind up, because there are a lot of questions coming up. But for this session, we have organized a small thing. We have sent the link of feedback form. The viewers, I would like to request you. So please fill up the feedback form, which will help us to organize further in future that what all topics you are interested, and we can ask chef to work on that. And we'll be also sending you e-certificate for your kind feedback.
Thank you all. I hope I could contribute
Chef,
a bit.
I think Avinash sir wants to say something.
So this is vote of thanks. It's quite difficult to say thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So I convey my best wishes and heartfelt thanks to esteemed person of the webinar, celebrated Deepak Mishra, respected principal IHM Bhubaneswar Santa ma'am, dear inspiring staff member of Institute, teacher, and my dear friends. I Abinash, the webinar system administrator and librarian of IHM Bhubaneswar, consider myself fortunate as an honor to privilege to extend the vote of thanks. Once a great man said, feeling thankfulness and not not expressing, it's just like wrapping a presentation and not giving to. So today I take opportunity to put all my gratitude all into words. So on behalf of IHM Bhubaneswar and webinar team, I would like to thank our resource person, Mishra. Thank you so much, sir, for his precious time out and consenting to this speaker. Sir, indeed, your word have inspired the next gen professional and professionalism. Thank you, our principal Sadha ma'am, and for your continuous support and guidance. I would like to thank the guiding star of our young mind, HOD Mr. Prakash Tripathi sir, who is always as connecting dots to introduce us with various alumni jewels of IHM Bhubaneswar, like Chef Deepak ji, and many of more in various prestigious positions.
Chef Tripathi, I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great teacher and yes. One of the contributor in my career.
Yes. So, dynamic faculties of IHM Bhubaneswar for support and encouragement for this series of webinar. For all your teachers, ready to sharing your wisdom. I would like to thank Mr. Sudhir Singh, most reliable person, value-added contribution as a continuous use various responsibility. Thank you, Sudhir. Last but not in the least, all the participants for showing their interest in program. Once again, I would like to say thanks all my respected professional mentors, friends, alumni, students, associates of IHM Bhubaneswar, all members of IHM family, everyone, media people for this successful program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. All the best.
And at the end, Steph, I would like to request one. Whenever next time you're coming to India, please visit our college so that we can have one small event with you, so that what we have seen practically we want to experience, and it will be honor for us if we get the opportunity to serve you as our guest.
That's a promise. I must say, when I'm there here next time, I'll come and cook with the students, and we'll create something for sure.
That's really encouraging. And thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you so
Once
much.
again.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Have a nice
Bye.
So